The first thing I'm making this week is peanut butter cookies. I'm actually making these for our church, but I made extra so that my guys can have some for their snacks this week. So here are the peanut butter balls. I have this full recipe recorded, so I'll put the link below. Now they have their crisscross pattern, so they are all set to go in the oven. This is a gluten-free recipe. There's no flour in these peanut butter cookies. The first of many batches of peanut butter cookies is cooling. So I'm just going to be popping these in the oven and letting them cool as I get some other things done around the house. I am going to make some vegetable broth in my slow cooker. I showed how to do this in my food prep video last week, but I'm going to make some more because I am going to make spinach and white bean soup and I need some vegetable broth. And this basically costs nothing because I have some vegetables in my freezer. These are scraps from when I peeled carrots for my pot roast and the ends of some onions as well as some celery in here. And I explained this in a couple of videos, but I just keep them all in a freezer bag, and then when I want to use them for a vegetable broth, I can just throw them in the slow cooker with some water. I actually added 4 cups of water to my slow cooker this time because I want to make quite a bit of broth, so it's about halfway full. And then I'm going to add a couple bay leaves and then some salt and pepper. You can also add a couple cloves of garlic or any seasonings that you would like. I'll probably just season the soup, so I'm just kind of keeping it basic this time. I have everything in my slow cooker. And I am going to cook this overnight. I like to do that because that way my slow cooker isn't taking up a lot of my counter space that I need, and that way it can cook and I don't have to do anything to it. I am going to cook it on low overnight. I like to cook it overnight because then the slow cooker isn't taking up my counter space and I really don't have to do anything to it. This is the vegetable broth after it's cooked on low for quite a while now, almost 12 hours actually. I am going to just remove the vegetables. So this is the broth that I got, and I'm going to place it in the refrigerator and it will be all set for my soup. I went ahead and washed all of our fruits and vegetables, and I'm going to prep our lemons. I've shown how I do that in a couple of videos before, so I'll either link that below or I'll just insert the clip. But I cut some into wedges and freeze them for my water. I zest the lemons and freeze that for when I want to throw some in vegetables or for baking. And then I also juice the lemons and save the juice in my ice cube tray, which is so convenient, especially if you buy a bag of lemons and you know that they aren't going to last very long. It's a good way to do that. So I'll definitely either put the link or put the clip in. And then I washed all of our grapes and divided them into separate containers. So I have 7 here, and we have tons of bananas and the apples for our fruit. And then I'll be using these things here, tomatoes and the eggplant and everything for different recipes. I have all of these in a drawer. I've talked about this plenty of times, but this is so nice because if my guys want to pack their lunch for school or grab an apple or a banana, it's all set, it's all washed, and it's easier to grab a healthier snack this way. I'm making some granola now, so I have my oats, brown sugar, cinnamon, and salt in this bowl, and I just need to measure out my coconut oil, honey, and vanilla extract. I have the full recipe recorded, so I'll put the link below, but this is really good granola, and it's just a basic recipe, so you can always add whatever you want into it, like raisins or nuts or coconut or anything like that, but it's really good. A week wouldn't go by without making granola bars. I am using the same bowl that I used to make the granola because there were no raw ingredients, and a lot of the ingredients are actually similar. So I'm going to mix my oats and my cereal. Then I have my butter, brown sugar, and honey bubbling over here, and I just need to add the vanilla extract. And I'm sure you guys know I already have my whole recipe for granola bars recorded, so I will put the link for that below. I'm trying hard to clean up as I go because it is Sunday, and Sunday is the only day that I ever take a nap, but I get so tired after church, and then we have an evening service later. So you just get tired when you're sitting still for a long time. At least I do. So anyway, I try really hard not to make a huge mess. And the peanut butter cookies that I showed at the beginning, I actually made those on Wednesday and they are all gone. I used to bake on Sunday and then one other day during the week. So the last few weeks I've been doing multiple things, but I think it actually works better to do a lot of it on Sunday, but maybe save one thing to bake another day because things start to run out, and then I also don't have to worry about anything going bad. So that seemed to work well. So they'll have granola bars now, and then I'll probably bake towards the middle of the week again. Okay, I made some chocolate chip granola bars and they are just cooling a bit, and then I'll pop them in the refrigerator to kind of harden them. And I have about 12 minutes left on my granola, so I'm going to divide up these snacks for my guys' lunches, and I'm going to prep my lemons, so hopefully I can get all of that done and then it will be nap time. My granola bars are in the refrigerator. I usually leave them in for like 20 minutes or so, and then I cut them into bars, and I have my granola cooling here. I'll just put that all in a bowl, and then a lot of times I just leave it plain, and then my guys can add stuff to it if they like. They don't all like nuts and things. And then I have our snacks divided. I use these for my boys' lunches and John's lunch, and then they're all divided up and easy to grab. And now I'm going to prep my lemons. I have 2 pounds of organic lemons and I've already washed them. I'm going to cut some of them into wedges for my water. I'm going to keep some in the refrigerator, but you can freeze them and they thaw out really quickly in your water, and it's just like having a fresh lemon wedge in your water. Okay, so I sliced my lemons. I have some that I'll put in my refrigerator and some that will go in the freezer. And then I'm going to juice the rest of my lemons, but before I juice them, I'm going to zest them. I love lemon zest in vegetables and things, and sometimes I use it for baking. I already had this in the freezer, so it's just a nice way to use all of the lemons. It is easier if you zest them before you juice them because it's easier to zest the lemons when they're whole. And as you can see, this was just in my freezer. It doesn't all stick together, so if you need to measure it, it's really easy to, you know, stick a teaspoon in there and get a teaspoon of lemon zest for a recipe. So I will do that before I juice them. So I got that much lemon zest, so I'm just going to add it to the bag and stick it in the freezer. And now I'm going to juice all of these lemons. I just cut them in half because obviously you need to do that to juice them. I went ahead and juiced all of my lemons, so I have my lemon juice here, and I like to freeze my lemon juice so that I can put it in with vegetables or recipes. I usually measure 1 tablespoon out and put it into each one of these, and that way if I need a tablespoon for a recipe, I know exactly how much is in each cube. Okay, so I have 12 cubes or 12 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I'll just pop that in my freezer. And then I did save these. These are great for putting in your garbage disposal, and then your kitchen smells nice and fresh and clean.